to grow as a grower? Are you tired of being put to sleep by your educational growcasts? Are you tired of hearing about products you don't fucking want and can't afford? Hi, I'm Johnny Apple, and joining me is everyone's favorite amphibian, the Reverend Pirate Frog. Join us as we sift through the bullshit on the internet and try to get better as growers. This is your average grow.
Hey, dude.
Hey, man, what's up?
I got a question for you.
You always have questions.
I know I'm a very inquisitive person. Where the fuck we been, bruh?
We've been fucking tired.
I know, man. Our apologies for not being around these last couple of weeks. We've both had some fucking crazy shit happen, but none of that shit's important because we're here now. So, in typical Yag fashion, we're just going to skip all that bullshit and talk about gardening, which wouldn't be very much like Yag, actually. But, Johnny.
I was going to say, wait a minute. That doesn't sound like us.
Yeah, I know. I'll ask about food later or some shit, Just kidding. Tell me about your garden, dude. It's been so long, and we have so much to catch up on.
Oh, we're just going to put them right to sleep.
I just want to get right into it. Yeah. I want people to complain about our lack of episodes, not the fact that we didn't talk about gardening in this one, We'll give them one topic to complain about.
All right. We'll do it. So my outdoor garden, man, I'm coming to the conclusion that a manicured lawn is for rich people. I can't afford to mow my grass. I have to use that space.
Well, you know my philosophy on grass. Fucking let it die, dude.
Yeah.
No grass lawns.
That's what I'm letting the front yard happen for sure. I'm gonna let the pumpkin that I have from fucking herb. I'm gonna let that thing get and consume as much of my front lawn as possible.
Hell yeah, man.
So, and she's got a good fucking chunk of it going right now, man. It's pretty fucking awesome to see.
She's fucking huge.
I mean, so Strong Island put his in fucking way earlier than I did. Like for me, it would have been like I probably would have lost it to Frost. And I think his was so big he wasn't afraid the frost was gonna fucking hurt it. So, dude, his thing is like wrapping around his goddamn yard and his fence and shit. It's fucking awesome.
Well, just a side note, everything Strong Island does is way more impressive because that dude is seriously one of the best fucking gardeners. Also, heard from Little Birdie, dude cheats like a motherfucker. So don't. No, I'm just kidding. She totally cheats. No, just kidding. But yeah, so don't compare yourself to him. It's unfair. We'd all be depressed all the time. But your pumpkin has looked amazing.
It is looking amazing. But so it needed I'm calling it a top dressing, dude, because check this shit out. All I did was get a bag of fucking compost from the local fucking co-op, right? It's a local CNY all natural fucking compost that doesn't even say what's in it. So it's just like, but the first bag I got, it's like really woody. Some of it stinks when I fucking put it on the pumpkin. I was like, all right, this shit's pretty fucking. And it says Central New York fucking made. I was fucking down with it, man. It was like $5 a bag if you bought 3 bags. I was like,
oh shit.
Okay. So I bought 6 bags. This fucking so anyways, what I'm doing is just I literally will take the fucking grass that's around it growing underneath it and shit, and I pull that all up. I throw that on top of the stem, and then I fucking put some nutrients, some minerals, and fucking whatever I had. I think the first time I had fucking some Roots Organic, something or other, like a veg fucking bag left from something that I hadn't used in a while. So I put that on top of the grass. I think a little bit of craft blend the first time maybe, and then this bag of fucking compost. The first time I you're supposed to bury the stem. I think I sidetracked on what I'm doing here. So you bury the stem, and what happens is it basically it's cloning. It's root system. Like it starts to fucking root from the stem that you bury. And I started to see where it was like grass was overgrowing the stem. If you lifted the stem up, you could start to see the roots starting to come out of that. So I was like, oh, dude, that's cool. So that's what gave me the idea. Just pull the grass, cover that stem up instead of fucking digging and burying it. It's like, just fucking cover it up. So the reason I'm saying I top dressed it with the compost is the first time I did it, it took a bag and that fucking Roots Organic, whatever I had laying around, one bag to fucking bury the one stem that was going out. This time when I decided to do it, and the reason I decided to do it again is because I was seeing feeder roots in the fucking compost when I got underneath and was looking to see how this was working. I could literally see feeder roots. The fucking plant was hungry from that first top dressing and fucking bag of compost. So I went to the store and got some more. So I got the fucking 3 bags for $15 deal. I got 2 of them. So I got 6 bags of compost. It took all fucking 6 bags to cover up what had fucking grown since the last time I did it. I'm afraid. I think I'll go broke trying to fucking keep top dressing this thing.
I was going to say, I certainly hope you come up with a better system, because I don't think we can afford you losing your house to fucking compost payments. Like, I mean, you're in deep to the central New York compost fucking mafia.
Oh man. I mean, it was a $30, but it's fun.
Yeah, you're digging it.
I did look today and the kids are liking it. So it's really just it's a fun experiment. Plus the fucking whatever else gets planted there next year has this fucking if the pumpkin doesn't take it all.
All the soil in your fucking yard is deficient because of this magnificent pumpkin plant.
But no, some of the fruit got fucking, I don't know, slugs or fucking pill bugs or something started to eat some of them. And it was right after this top dressing. So I think it was just the smaller fruit was just too close to the fucking top dressing, and it kind of rotted. Probably it didn't like it. It closed off the stem, or I don't know. But a couple of them rotted away, and I saw this morning they were getting fucking eaten by something. You can see the ants crawling all over it. I was like, fuck. But the biggest one is still kicking. I got one. It's bigger than a golf ball, for sure. Bigger than a golf ball. I would say it's almost baseball size now at this point.
Oh, damn.
So I'm getting happy to watch this one keep swelling, and I'm hoping that we finally got our at least first real fruit that I have to pay attention to and keep. But
I'm excited. It's fun being a spectator and not participating. It's a lot less stressful.
Dude, these things are hungry, man.
Yeah, they are.
So
well, they're fucking leaves. Look, think of all the foliage that they're fucking throwing out, dude.
God, dude, they fucking satellite dishes, man. The more she fucking has out there, the more she fucking grows. It's becoming this. It's insane. I can't wait to the end of by October, man. This thing is going to had consumed my lawn. I am fucking almost certain of it. Yeah. So at some point, I think I'm going to be done fucking top dressing this motherfucker, but I don't know, maybe not. It's kind of fun.
Well, before you start breaking into your neighbors,
couple of stems going, but fuck, the neighbors across the street don't even mow their fucking grass. They mow it like once a year or two. They're not gonna say nothing. They're bigger hippies than I.
I was gonna say, before you start breaking into your neighbor's house to steal their shit to finance your fucking compost problem, we got to find another solution. Mulch with do you have any of that leaf mold?
I've got a bag left, but like we said, it's that really sticky shit. Excuse me, Jesus.
I do look forward to the fall, though, when it is in your fucking lawn. That is going to be a fucking great couple shots, especially with the way you get fucking into it. You photo nerd.
Sometimes. I haven't taken any fucking real good photos in a while.
Oh, fuck off. You've been so busy that you can't really beat yourself up for that either.
Yeah. Well, anyways. So right next to that pumpkin, I'll carry on. Right next to that pumpkin is my aunt gave me a spearmint plant, right? And when she gave it to me, it was I don't know, a couple inches fucking tall. I didn't know shit about spearmint. So anyways, it's a fucking, it's a fucking weed. So it's consumed the whole fucking front part of my little front garden, which is fine. It's almost like most people put like fucking shrubs there, like green fucking pine fucking bushes in front of their
Yeah,
front
yeah.
window kind of deal. I've got a fucking spearmint plant growing there instead.
More
So,
useful.
dude, so yeah, I'm getting to that fucking, I took a bunch of fucking cuttings of it. I just started fucking whacking away at it, and I threw it inside of a fucking cleaned out garbage bin, like a 55-gallon fucking garbage bin, and I fucking, every bit of shit that was in there, I just sprayed and got the hose on top of it, right? So it's been in there for a couple days. I go to fucking mix it the other day, and I'm just like, I'm like crunching up, and it's just like, it's almost hard to breathe how much fucking aroma was coming off this. Like, I'm fermenting it. I didn't add any sugar. I think it's just I'm trying like a natural ferment to see what happens. I'm like got a cover over it. It's in the sun kind of deal.
Right on.
And it was minty as shit. So much so that I'm going to take a bunch of what I've got right now and fucking foliar spray everything that
I
I
was gonna
got
say,
going
yeah,
on, like my
it'd be a
berries and
great
shit.
fucking IPM, dude.
Yeah, man. It's fucking loud. So
Good.
definitely
That's exactly
fucking,
what you want. That's fucking
yep.
incredible. Is that there's two things I wanted to say. First, you slowly becoming a hippie is just bringing so much joy to me. Um, you're soon all of your house is just gonna be covered in only useful things for you, and it makes me happy. Second, the is that spearmint and part of that herb garden that you were showing me that you kind of just dug out on your pathway?
No, it's, so this
Okay.
is the front of my house.
Okay.
The
Okay.
herb garden is in the back.
Oh, right on.
So if you're
Okay.
standing at the front of my house, the lounge is the garage on the right. It's a fucking one
Okay.
car attached. And right behind that is where the herb garden is. The pumpkin
Oh,
is
right.
to the left in the front yard. And so is the
Okay.
spearmint. And I got a horseradish out there too. My uncle gave me this thing is, it was sickly. He gave me the smallest little, like, I don't need, like, it was sad. We went to the flea market when I was in Ohio. That day he picked it so that I could take it home with me like 2 days later. And it was like left in the sun, getting all sunburnt and yada, yada, yada. It fucking, this thing, since the first year I planted it, the second year, the fucking leaves on it have been over 6 foot tall every
Gee.
year. And it just keeps getting wider and wider. I don't like the location it's in, so I've got to fucking uproot it. So I got to do a little research and move a good chunk of this and probably get rid of the rest and put it in like a better spot in the yard. Because my front yard, it's got my leach field and shit, and I don't like. You probably shouldn't consume much of the shit that gets fucking grown around your leach field. I don't know how much danger it really is. Like, but I
Well,
don't know. It doesn't sound like inviting fucking botulism is a great fucking idea.
no, generally not. What I do you are you a horseradish fan?
I do like horseradish.
Yeah. See, for me, that would be super easy to uproot because I don't give a fuck about I hate horseradish. So I'd just be like, ah, shit, oh no, it's dead.
Oh man,
But
there's
if
so
you
many
like it, you want it.
useful. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. I'm one of the, like I acknowledge that I wish I liked a lot of the things I don't because they're super good for you. I just cannot fucking do. Like to me, when you put horseradish on a French dip, it's ruined. See, got the food talking, motherfuckers.
Well, it's a plant, man. It's a plant.
Yeah, for sure. But anywho, sorry, I'm just
Oh
I can
man, don't
see
be
what
sorry.
I can see why you'd need to move it if it's getting that large in
Yeah,
that
it
location.
is getting too big, and it's just not in the greatest spot. So,
Yeah.
I want to put it in a better spot. I'm not sure how much of a better spot I've got, but the problem with my property is very simple. The people who
It's in New
built this
York.
neighborhood, it's a tiny little hamlet, right? It's way out in the country kind of deal, but it's a hamlet in the country. So there's probably, I don't know, 15 houses on this block, this one street. That's it. It's one little street in the middle of nowhere almost.
It does look super cool from the maps, though.
Did you ever see the
overview?
I showed you the drone.
Yeah. The drone fit. Yeah, the pictures. It's super fucking rad.
So
very confusing to someone who's only grown up in suburbia. You're just like,
right?
What? Yeah.
And so I get lost in the city. It's funny. It's
so
funny. But so my problem is the old people who built this neighborhood basically have died, and the young people that have moved in haven't cut the fucking trees down. And to cut a tree down when it's on your fucking neighbor's property line up against their barn and shit, you got to have somebody else do it, and it's expensive, man.
Oh yeah. You're just inviting issues too, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go fucking taking every goddamn tree down, but I don't have any sunlight on most of my property because of the overgrown trees. So I've got a narrow fucking band of maybe 8 to 10 hours, which is where I built those garden beds in my backyard. Yeah. So I've taken down a black walnut. I took that down on a fucking random whim in like a February. It fell in the
just
like, shit. That was funny.
Jesus.
Yeah, whatever.
Went about as well as expected from random whims of falling trees.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think I've ever looked at a tree and been like, you know what? I'm bored as fuck. I'm gonna chop that motherfucker down. But it is good to know that you have something in common with George Washington.
Yeah, kind of, and my wooden tooth. The branches on this fucking thing were like covering my black raspberries, my fucking strawberries. It was getting bigger and bigger every fucking year, and the walnuts dropped off. And black walnut, if you don't know, the roots of a black walnut are toxic to almost every fucking thing. So, luckily the strawberries I seem to have planted seemingly pretty fucking resistant to it. And also this fucking weird ass weed. I don't even know what it is. It's a kind of a bushy, almost an iris looking thing. And it throws out these weird looking white flowers, but it consumes everything almost like a fucking iris would, man. And I kept fighting this weed back inside of my strawberries, and I couldn't keep up. These things kept fucking outgrowing my strawberries to the point that I only had maybe a quart of fucking strawberries in a fucking 100 square feet.
Wow.
Of strawberries. Yeah. So I lost the battle this year, and I'm not even sure what to do. I almost think I need to get some fucking soil or some big fucking load of compost or something and raise that up at least a foot, just fucking chop that whole thing down, put some fucking cardboard on top of it, get some good compost and like topsoil, and just cover that whole thing up, get it off the ground away from those weeds a little bit more and start over. But I got to get to a point where I can take cuttings of the fucking strawberries.
And all the labor to do it. Yeah. But you also need the time to do all that shit.
Exactly. And the garden's huge. And we got
getting bigger too.
Like, Jesus, I've gotten to 4 of the shit growing in the outside, and we're already been on for 20 minutes probably.
Yeah, I know. Jesus. Almost. And it's, you know what, as a podcast about cannabis growing, we haven't talked about fucking cannabis at all in 20 minutes, which is fucking incredible. So let's keep it up. So
it's your average grow.
I am not complaining. I love this. But yeah, no, keep going.
I want to get to that part of my garden. You know what? I think when we get done with my outdoor vegetable garden, we'll transition to yours, and then we'll follow it back up. That way I get a break with my voice.
All right, we can do that. You don't got to announce the game plan, man. We could have just gone with it. Should we give fair warning for the rest of the show too? Like after that, I think before we end, I'll do some kind of sermon.
There you go.
All right.
Foreshadowing at best. So no, but so right next to the strawberries, other than the propane tank, I've got wild blackberries fucking growing. And the first couple of years I was in this house, I didn't really pay much attention to them. Then a couple of years ago, I top dressed the shit out of them. And then last year, I had fucking like 6-foot fucking tower vines that were like doubled up, fucking raking over. And then it was just incredible to watch what the fuck happened. They just ate that top dressing and loved it the next fucking year. This year, I think the potassium has broken down a little bit better because the fucking flowers that were on these vines this year was incredible. I think I've gotten a gallon of wild blackberries in my first pick already this year.
Oh,
And mind
wow.
you, I've already seen the neighbor lady coming over and fucking stealing some. So
Oh,
who
how
knows
good.
how much I've lost to fucking birds and the neighbor lady.
Yeah. Keep losing it to
But
birds and birds.
well, I think the spearmint might help with fucking birds and shit too, man. So could be fun to get them
can't
sprayed. I
hurt.
gotta get that. But so the rest of that used to be lawn until my 3 garden beds. And this year I have now planted a herb garden bed. I got some fucking mulch and I cut some cardboard and I made kind of like the dogs keep trashing shit. It's not like the best. So I was like trying some like mulch to use as a walkway and use as some like garden space too. So I started like a little perennial herb garden. I got like rosemary and curry, sage. My aunt gave me some of her oregano. I've got wild garlic growing in that spot too, it turns out. I thought it was chives, but it's wild garlic.
Oh, cool.
It was, I was like looking at the flowers. I was like, these aren't chive flowers. It smells like chives. I thought somebody, planted chives years ago and I've never given them a chance, but no, it's definitely wild garlic. It just gets mowed every year. I've never seen it flower. So this year I seen it flower and it's this crazy, man. It's this bulb looking spiky flower that looks like full of sap and gel. And then it's like that for a while with the skin over top of it. And then
skin.
it's like an
Certainly
onion
don't think
skin.
so.
It literally
Yeah.
is like an onion skin. You know, that fucking
cool.
thin
Yeah.
layer. It's like that for a little while. And then some of them turn like green seeded coming out of that bulb. And then it has like whiskers coming out of some of the other ones, almost like male and female. Maybe it's wild, man. I'm just watching this shit flower for the first time. It's crazy to watch this go through
Pretty
this.
cool.
First of all, I've never watched an
move,
onion or garlic or anything flower, so it's just wild.
But I wanted to, before you moved on though, can you kind of describe how you laid it out in your grass? Because I think, and I'm sure you'll share a picture, but I thought it was really dope. Like, cool.
So what I did was, for my business, I have a fucking earth auger to fucking dig holes for post holes.
Yeah.
So I took advantage of the fact that I have one of those now, and I dug a bunch of fucking holes, and I went and cut some maple logs. I cut some fresh fucking maple with the chainsaw, cut that shit down, and just buried those. Like, it might have been like 3 feet. I didn't go. It's a fucking fence, basically. I didn't give a shit, and it's wood rotting. So I stuck those in the ground, covered the fucking dirt back over top of them. And then I had some like slab wood that got rot before I could burn it, that I just went out back and grabbed that from the fucking pile, threw that on the truck, brought that around, and like created like a kind of above ground, cut a bunch of cardboard. And this is like coming around the sidewalk, around the right side of my house. So as soon as it hits the sunlight area, I've got it like almost fenced off with a mulch bed right along that sidewalk. To the left would be the little garlic patch that I have. It's only got this narrow band of sun because my house blocks it, because my house is north to south. So my house blocks the fucking sun and the backyard. So I've got this garden bed right up against the lounge here with my garlic in it. But it only has fucking just enough space for this narrow 2 strips of fucking garlic.
Working with what you got.
And then the sidewalks on the other side of that, and then the mulch bed and the perennial fucking herb garden is to the right of that. If you keep walking, the garden bed would be on the right now. You look at the 3 above ground 4x8 garden beds that I made. Now I just took corrugated tin roofing and some fucking pine and built some frames and put the tin on the inside and then put a bunch of fucking soil in these 4x8, 4x8 beds.
A bunch of fucking soil.
Not a just bunch of soil.
A bunch.
It wasn't like go dig up either. This was like this was like nerding out on fucking soil. It's got everything in it, man. It's got like 7 bags, 7 40-pound bags between the 3 beds of fucking craft blend.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's like fucking $2,000 worth of soil in those fucking 3 beds.
Yeah, it's good soil. So anyone can give me a ride. We'll go rob them. I got a lot of fucking shit to fill.
Oh man, that was when I was so nerding out and thought I needed the best of everything. And it's like, you can obtain that without doing all of that. Let's just say that. And trust me, I did it the fucking cheap way. I found as much local shit as I could, like the worm castings that I bought in 2 fucking truckloads. Was like $160.
Oh, dude,
so the worm castings was the cheapest. It was the fucking minerals shipping from around the goddamn world that cost the most. Plus the rice hulls that went in there too. There was like 7 bales of fucking rice hulls for those 3 beds.
Oh yeah, dude. Anytime you do quantity on any of the soil ingredients, it goes crazy.
Yeah.
When you're done, I've done a little bit of that soil bullshit because of a topic I'll talk about later this week, like pricing things. And fuck it, dude.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
I will say before, like we can bemoan the cost, but the amount of stuff that you've pulled from your backyard, the type of stuff you've pulled, and like the change in life was well worth the amount of money.
Oh, I agree. It's given me the confidence to learn how to grow because I know it wasn't in my soil. That's why I wanted to start. I wanted to learn about vining tomatoes. So the first fucking year it was all about that. I didn't want to worry about learning how to treat my soil. My sister, the first year of her garden beds, I built her 4 of those same beds.
Right on.
Her first year, she struggled. Dude, I went in her garden a couple days ago. My niece graduated. I looked at her garden. They're doing tremendous because she's listened to my advice from she did hugelkultur, man, and her garden this year looks fucking great. It's amazing.
Cool too.
So anyways, but the first year I didn't want to worry about that. So I was just about learning, and then I realized after the second year I don't have that anymore, so I had to start fucking top dressing. So I don't know how many years ago now, whatever. Last year it was cover crop, and I grew a bunch of cover crop and then chopped that down and gave it a top dressing. And I think I used lobster compost last year to top dress my beds with. But anyways, so basically what I've got left out there is the tomatoes in that same bed. I use the same bed for tomatoes because the vining thing that I built there, it just makes sense.
The trellis,
the trellis. Cucumbers go in the same bed. They've got a cattle panel that goes from one side of the narrow side to the other that the cucumbers grow up every year. This year I planted I think it's a Japanese variety, and they're like long and skinny. Some of them get really curly. They're cool looking. I'll have to send some pictures of some of the cooler looking ones. But
I look
in front of that is this really lengthy, beautiful broccoli. Last year, my broccoli was kind of short and bushy, where it was one big flower. This year, it's like a bunch of fucking, I don't know if it's
smaller florets,
vining kind of broccoli or
that's cool.
Stretching. I got to learn. My aunt said something about like, that's a different type of broccoli. I was like, different fucking.
I'll be excited to learn the difference in taste.
It's a fucking F1 of fucking Hell's Angels crossed with fucking Don't Eat This from don't eat your dad's broccoli.com. I don't know. It's a weird cross of something.
That's cool though.
But yeah.
The you got me with that title. Fuck you. That was good. God damn, that was good. The now I've completely forgotten. Oh, I was gonna ask those Japanese cucumbers. Are you gonna attempt to pickle those?
Oh hell yeah. But
Okay.
I think I'm gonna, so if I get some longer straight ones, I'll do spears.
Mhm.
And I think I'll mostly end up doing spears. If I can get some bigger straight chunks, I'll do bigger chunks because those seem to hold up longer in the 1 gallon pickle jars.
Right on.
Because all I do is ferment. I got on that. Well, we knew that. I go ahead and get
Yeah.
onto this every year.
We're not gonna have this fucking pickle bullshit talk again.
Pickles. But yeah, I will try. I'm gonna try. I was expecting to see a lot of different. There's not much difference. They are definitely not a pickling variety. Like my pickle ones, they're ready and they're 8 inches maybe. These things are long when they're ready to harvest. So it's definitely a different variety of cucumber, but it's not like this. Wow, that's Asian as shit.
Well, but no. Oh,
That's kind of what I was hoping for. That's why I like browse the fucking seed magazines and shit. I look for fun,
the unique
different
ones,
stuff.
yeah.
And it's just a little garden. I try to grow as much as what I'm going to rightfully know I'm going to have the time to preserve. That's what this year was about in my garden.
Perfect. It's a really good mindset, especially if because last year you didn't have that great of a harvest, right? Because you were doing a lot of shit.
Just a really busy year last year.
Yeah,
and it wasn't the best. Nobody had the greatest year last year. We had must have been a
Your
late
area
frost and just weird, but this year we got just a good enough water. Oh, good enough. Just the right amount of water and the right amount of sun and heat and humidity, and everything seems to be fucking digging life right now.
Perfect. I like that, dude. That's really good.
Yeah.
To go in with the mindset all right, we had a bad year this last year, but we're gonna go in preserve as much of it as we fucking can.
Yeah. So, and then the last bed just has cabbage. It had red lettuce, which we've already gone through all that. We've ate that already.
How was it? Did he like it?
Oh shit, man, it was fucking phenomenal. And then carrots, like 2 rows of carrots. So I've got 4. I would have like 1 8-foot long run of fucking carrots. I called one. I would have to get back to you. I don't know. And then I had 2 rhubarb. I lost one of my rhubarb there last year. It died back. It did not come back this year. The other one, it came back this year, but I tried something new. I didn't do any research, which is typical fucking Johnny fashion. You can take a garbage can, you can cover it up from the sunlight, and then they get long and stretchy. It did not work. I killed my fucking plant. I left it on. It makes sense. You probably only do it I don't know, during a couple hours of the day or something. It was on there 24 hours a day. Like a dumbass.
You baked it.
So it died. Yeah, it died.
Slow cooked.
Anyways, that left chance for the loofah that
okay, yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. Did you really publicly say that the loofah smells of nacho cheese?
Dude, I kid you not. I even rubbed the stem and the fucking leaves and shit on it.
Slower.
I gave her the most voluptuous stem rub and leaf rub you can imagine. And I kept I don't know, smoking a fucking joint and going, what the fuck? What is that goddamn smell? And I'm like, dude, that smells like nacho cheese. Like when you go to a fucking ball game and there's fucking jalapenos in the fucking tray and you got those fucking yellow,
that neon yellow, whatever God forbid it actually is. Yeah.
I was like, this reminds me of being at the fucking baseball game, man. This is fucking nacho cheese. It was so weird. I even rubbed it and then made Jess smell my fucking fingers, and she's like, yeah, it smells.
For the first time ever, she enjoyed that game. Yeah. If she likes cheese, I guess. It could have been worse. Jesus. That's incredible. You got to post pictures of all this shit. After we spent the first 34 minutes talking on our cannabis podcast.
So, but in between that, where my strawberries were in those 3 beds were, there's always been the intention of putting 3 more beds there.
Uh-huh.
I just don't have the time and the fucking cost, but I also this year decided I can't afford to waste that space, and I have a lot of leftover fucking fabric pots full of fucking soil from previous cannabis grows
Oh, hell
laying
yeah.
around my fucking property. So I went and rescued all of them motherfuckers, and I've like put down pieces of plywood that I had laying around, some old fucking corrugated tin to like mimic where those fucking beds are eventually going to be. And I've got lettuce growing in one spot, I've got green beans growing in another, and a bunch of fucking peppers scattered throughout the whole
Yeah,
property, man. I was like, fuck this. I'm not wasting this space anymore just because I can't build the beds.
Yeah,
So
dude, that's
I'm
awesome.
container gardening as well.
Hell yeah, dude. You're just adding the extra work. You're like, fuck it, man. Make it harder.
Fuck it, man. It's no harder than going to the fucking grocery store to buy fucking peppers. And I got chickens.
What peppers are
in
you
these.
growing? And oh yeah,
So
we haven't really talked about the fucking chicken coop or the chickens either. So keep it going, dude. This is a big update episode.
well, chickens are doing fucking great. They're out in the coop now. I have not built the run yet because I'm just busy. But I did like fence off an area, and they come out every day and then that fence, and somebody's at home all the time, so we're constantly out there checking them on them in this fenced in area that's not covered in, it's just half-ass fenced it.
Yeah.
So they're doing great, man. They've mashed that fucking area a lawn down hardcore. I built the coop over top of this black walnut stump that kept fucking coming up with black walnuts every year, that had these like huge tiger lilies fucking growing in it. They demolished the fucking tiger lily plant right to shit. The fucking black walnut stump has seen fucking met its match. Let's just say that.
Dude, that's awesome.
So the whole area is just demolished. Unfortunately, if I keep talking about my chickens, it kind of segues into what's going on in my cannabis garden. So I'll just leave the chickens at that. And
how
then
many do you have right now? Let's
11.
at least get
we
that.
lost one of the 12. It was a baby, and it never. I don't. They had it said sticky ass syndrome or some shit like that. It like
sticky ass,
poop, like sticky butt, sticky poop. It we tried to say it, but it never. And then as the older chickens just kept growing and she didn't. They just fucking stomped her to death, man. It sucked. But the other 11, they all got their own fucking personalities. It's fun. We have not identified of the 3 we have remaining that could be roosters, if any of them are a rooster or not yet. I think we got a little more time before, but none of them are like, oh, that's definitely a fucking rooster.
Have you decided what you're doing? I don't know if
we're keeping a rooster if we have it, for sure. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. We have a cat around the house. We're gonna knock up for the kids to let them see that.
Well, I certainly hope you don't. What?
No. So my sons live with their mother. They have a male cat. We have a female cat here, so we're gonna have kittens.
Thank you
for the kids.
Context in these segues slightly important. Just slightly important details.
Similarly, we're gonna have a rooster around for fertilizing eggs and shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there's markets and shit. Our own flock, and there's market and shit for baby chickens.
It's only fitting. You've got the farm land everywhere. You might as well like go to a farmer's market with it.
Right, exactly. But then so because I got the chickens this year, I got some I think they're Portugal red hot peppers.
Okay.
Because chickens, if they consume crushed red pepper, it does it improves their egg production or something like that. It's super good for them. So
they
I was
taste spicy.
They can't taste the heat. Exactly. Yeah. So it's amazing. So I was like, fuck that, I'm not buying it. I'll fucking
Hell yeah,
grow
dude.
it. So I've got two 15-gallon pots of the reds. I also did jalapenos. Just it was like, well, if fucking crushed red pepper works, what the fuck is the difference between a crushed green fucking jalapeno? If they don't turn red, if I don't let them get red, most of the times a fucking jalapeno, if you let them actually go ripe, they turn red too. So what the fuck is crushed red pepper? I know
Hey
it
man,
means
if you start talking about bell peppers and yellow, red, and
semantic.
green, no,
Semantic.
you're gonna scare people. You'll
Yeah.
break the pepper industry.
But then just a couple of like a purple bell and a red bell, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
right on.
But that's pretty much it, man.
Well,
And a
that
bunch
sounds
of
like paradise.
marigolds because marigolds are fucking great
Really
for
great
your
for pests.
for pollinators and everything. Yeah, so I planted a fuck ton of marigolds around. And they
Hell
look
yeah,
really
dude.
cool too. But
They are
so
very
one
fun.
more thing. The every I was when I was at my sister's house a couple of fucking nights ago. The mosquitoes are crazy. The mosquitoes are always fucking crazy around my yard too. This year, we've got 3 citronella plants scattered throughout the backyard. We've got 3 lemongrass plants. Lemongrass we have to put in pots around here because they don't weather. The
Okay.
citronella is also an annual, so we'll have to do that every year. But we also have lavender as well. So lavender, citronella, and lemongrass scattered throughout our yard. Our backyard is the only one you can stand in for any sort of amount of time right now without getting fucking raped by mosquitoes.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
It's weird. I don't know if it's working, if it's the chickens, but it's between
I'm
whatever the
sure the
fuck I
chickens are
got going
helping.
on with the
Yeah.
natural shit. The mosquitoes are fucking at bay at best. It is not the same around, even at that fucking deck job I'm doing, man. The fucking mosquitoes were like bad
Go
today. I was
bad,
like, I'm
dude.
out.
Yeah, I'm
So,
not a huge fan of mosquitoes. We only generally have huge problems if we get rain. If we don't have rain, we're fine. Unless, like you keep a bucket of water outside and forget to put fucking the BTI in there. And then put a lid on it. That was a fucking mistake on my part one time. But other
ugh.
than that, we generally don't have any issues with them. Luckily, we have our issues with literally everything else, but generally
Yeah.
not mosquitoes as much in my
Speaking
area.
of, why don't we get into your garden now? Because I'm kind of done with mine. And you, how is yours with that pest problem you have?
I am no longer acknowledging the pest problem because if I don't acknowledge it, it might go away because
Oh,
that's about as
Jesus.
effective as everything else has been so far.
Oh my God, dude.
But I'll start in a happier place, and we'll get to the negatives. And it's not really that negative. I mean, everything is fine. But in my outdoor massive plot of land, my many acres, I've got comfrey growing, which is just loving life right now.
Dude, I saw that. That looks great.
I have alfalfa growing, and then I've got my sunflowers up. Finally, it's about the only thing that I can actually grow on the patio to any extent, and uh, I'm having fun with it. So that was my outdoor garden. But luckily
So what
for
kind
the
of sunlight
audience
does
sake,
that see, though?
well, it depends
Like, what
entirely
direction
on
is it
what
facing?
side.
Is it on the
It's
west side? Does it get mostly a western sun, an eastern sun?
So it's it's hard to explain, but it's interrupted because obviously it's an apartment and there's very large buildings on every side, but
Mm-hmm.
the patio itself is on the south side.
That's good.
Uh yes. However,
There's a building.
half the patio gets
Yeah.
sun for like full day. Like it'll get half the patio gets full sun, or I would say more like a quarter gets full sun, another quarter gets partial shade. So it's an interesting mix. It doesn't matter basically. um but yeah, so those are the particular, like where my sunflowers grow is the spot that gets full sun. And then, well, and
Nice.
my aloe sits there. Like I have all of this stuff basically that I can grow to help, like help close as much of the loop as I can. Like that's why I'm doing the comfrey and the alfalfa and stuff like that. And then
Hell
I
yeah.
have my sunflower and my jasmine just because those are the ones that I enjoy.
So
But
tell me about
after,
that alfalfa, man. I mean, we kind of talked about comfrey and how beneficial that is because like it'll pull all sorts of micronutrients and shit up, right?
yeah, and that's primarily this is the first year I'm growing it. So
Mm-hmm.
this is primarily just the test year because I you can't get it anywhere around me, right? And they're like, there's no nurseries or anything has it. I had to get it online, and so I'm just testing it out. But I really wanted to make a FPE out of it because Howling said he was going to
What's
last year.
FPE?
Fermented plant
Fermented plant
extract.
extract. Okay.
Howling said he was going to last year, but I don't know. I don't know if you, Johnny, did you get your comfrey fermented plant extract from Howling?
I have never received anything in
Yeah,
the
that's
mail
weird.
from that very individual.
It's weird. Neither did I.
Well,
Must have gotten lost for both of us.
hmm.
We are very far away from him. But anywho, so this is more of a tester year. The alfalfa is also in the because I have so many alfalfa seeds because I do sprouted seed tea with them like a
Mhm.
lot. So I have
So you let it
large
go to
quantities
seed, the
of seed.
alfalfa go to seed?
This not no. I purchased from my buddy who has an organic farm in San Diego, or
Okay.
not Andy in San
Oh,
Diego,
you
San
just
Diego
because you
County.
had a bunch of it.
Yeah, because I needed it for sprouted seeds, and so now I have a bunch, and I got a bunch of planters, and so I would fill them with soil. Had nothing. I'm in the meantime, so I threw alfalfa in there. So I'm testing that out this year too. Um,
What are you gonna? It's a grass, right? Because they grow alfalfa around here. It's like a hay. They use it for hay, right?
yes, it's for animal feed.
Now, um, does it not stand for all food? Isn't that kind of where the term alfalfa came from? And it was all food because it is so nutrient rich, right?
Yeah, I'm no expert on the origins of alfalfa, the where like anything about it particularly, but that sounds like something that you've told me before. So I believe you.
I I heard it on the internet.
Well, then we know we're both screwed. I'm just kidding. It definitely sounds like I think I googled it at one point, but anyhow, they're all just testers. But let us not get caught up. I do not think our audience needs to hear any more of my massive
Non-cannabis.
property, yeah, non-cannabis talk.
Hmm.
So we'll
Good.
start
I'm
with
rolled up, so let's go.
there you go. We'll start with I'm currently smoking on some Tangy Wedding from Big Green Guy. It's fucking fantastic. Um, the plant was a great grow too. I highly recommend it. I don't even know if he still has it, but bother him if he does, or
There you
even if
go.
he doesn't, just bother him. He's a monster.
He is.
Now, but in my Alebrije tent right now, I have the West Coast Tucadillo, which is going to be his pop up drop. His pop up is September 21st in Hollywood. I'll be there. Come join us. That's the Alebrije sponsored message this week.
This
No,
episode
but
is
I
sponsored.
yeah, you got to finish it now. You can't start it. Don't fucking blue balls us.
This episode is sponsored by Alebrije Genetics.
Thank you. I just always enjoy watching you get through it. You have not stumbled on it once.
I will. I'm fucking Johnny.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, we will. Anywho, so I've got that growing in the earth box, and then in my little do-it-yourself earth box that I made out of a tote, I have dog snacks, which was Howling's favorite freebie from Alebrije. So, and I had it, so I planted it, and it's growing. So she's a beautiful plant. That's the Alebrije tent. The next tent, my 2x4, which they're both 2x4s now, so I got to come up with its own fucking name. But my Cosmic Apprentice from Night Owl is doing very well. She's fucking rad. I love her structure on her. The ant in infestation in the earth box, I'm not a fan of though. That's a
So
fucking
you
disaster.
say it eats the stalks of young plant. Is it
Yeah.
fucking with the
So
mature ones,
it is
or has it
not.
like stressed the
No.
younger one that's there and it kind of like triggered it to flower early? Is any of that you seeing going on?
Okay. So no. The mature plant is not. It's not mature. The more mature than seedling plant right now, right,
Right.
does not seem affected at all yet. And when I filled the res, the ants were pushed up towards right to get away from all the they don't want to be submerged in it too wet. So they were pushed up onto basically the top layer there. And now I sprayed them with nematodes. It is still not worked yet, right? I got to be
So
patient. But I'm not worried necessarily about them being in that earth box right now, because the Cosmic Apprentice is going along uninterrupted. My issue is the ants stunted my Frogception V2. And so I planted another seed, and then the ants ate that motherfucker. And so I planted another seed, and that one didn't fucking pop. But I had already pulled the other
Jesus.
plant, so now that earth box is overrun with fucking ants, And so I've got a solo cup that I'm going to transplant into it, because, like I said, I treated it with nematodes for the second time. I've used fucking diatomaceous earth.
Dude, that might be the way. So, that fucking 2 solo cup method? That might have been the way to try and start. They're
Well,
going to
yeah.
crawl up that fucking solo cup. What
Well,
the
no, no,
fuck am I
no.
talking? They'll be in that soil.
They're not in that soil. So
No,
they're.
no, no. Yeah, I know.
It is the way that I'm doing it right now. So don't
Right.
poo-poo it, because then I'm just going to be mad that you're like, yeah, it's not going to fucking work. Well, at least let me fuck it up in my own hands, right? I wouldn't get mad at you. That's a silly thought.
So
But
did you dig out some soil and have the cup in there, or you're just gonna fucking transplant
I'm
after
transplanting
the
it.
fact? You're not even keeping that cup near that fucking earth
No,
box for now.
so
Okay.
what I did is I planted another seed in the earth box, right? Because I'm not just planting it doing nothing, see ants eat it and go, oh bummer, I'm gonna plant another seed.
Yeah.
I'm not that dumb. I'm fairly dumb,
I
but
am.
I'm not that dumb. So I am treating it, right? I've treated it with nematodes. When I decide right before I pulled the stunted plant, I flooded the entire earth box. Like, I'm doing stuff in like to try and get them out, treating it with because the first time I treated them with nematodes, I came to the conclusion, maybe falsely, but the conclusion I came to was that I was not allowing the medium to get as wet as nematodes would like to, because I had seedlings that I was trying not to stunt. So when I put the water down the res, my soil got much wetter. I treated again with nematodes, right? And I also covered the earth box with its earth box cover, so that
I was gonna ask
yeah,
that. I'm
the
glad you
UV
got to
light
it. Yep.
wasn't hitting it as well. So the second time treatment, I chalked up the first one to, you know a little bit. It worked because it did work a little bit, but it was uncovered with seedlings, so it wasn't the optimal time to do it. I just wanted them gone because they were frustrating, right? I've lost 3 plants to them. So
Jesus Christ.
yeah. So effectively, I don't know. I've treated the nematodes. They haven't worked yet. I don't know my next course of action. That I know with with the Cosmic Apprentice, I'm just gonna let her go, right? And I'm gonna keep an eye on, make sure that they don't start farming aphids or anything like that. I'm just gonna get her to go, flower finish. But I don't know what my next step is after this run necessarily, because in a perfect world, the nematodes would work. I wouldn't have to worry about them. But I have a tote full of infested soil, plus these 2 earth boxes. I don't want to dump a fucking ton of soil. That's hundreds of dollars, right?
You can't do that.
Yeah, it's way too wasteful. And so, but then the alternatives that would work, like I could put borax. I could do poison, and you can use borax a little bit as a
Would it
fertilizer,
help or would it make it
but
worse? I was gonna say, could you fucking put them in a fucking tote out in the sun and bake them motherfuckers?
well, that's a thought.
But I
Another,
think
I
the
don't
ants
think
would
so.
probably just
Yeah.
either crawl out, which is
Yes.
fucking tits, or more would fucking crawl in because it's fucking
Well,
what they wanted in the first place.
yeah.
Is hot, warm
And
soil.
here's another problem. I had a thought is that I would submerge. I could take like
super soak.
some super soak, but then I'm losing like that is an option. But then it doesn't kill them. It makes them scurry away. So I'd have to do that away from anything I don't want them to infect again, right? Not infect, but invade.
Yeah, you do it like in a fucking tote out with
I'd
the
probably
yard
do
with
it
a
in my
garden
shop.
hose.
Yeah, I'd probably do it in my shop, like out by my
Yeah,
shop. But also, I'm losing, like, I'm washing away all the fucking good shit.
that's if you wash it away. I feel like you could fucking drown them.
Well, they don't drown.
And then, well, or scurry away, whatever.
Yeah.
But then you could save that water.
Yes.
And then like water the first couple of times with that water. You know what I mean? It's not going to totally wash it away. It's going to wash some away for sure.
Yeah. No.
But
I mean, it's that wouldn't keep
doable.
me. No. And that wouldn't be a reason to keep me from doing anything anyway. Like, because even just to avoid throwing away the pumice, because pumice costs something, right? Like,
exactly.
I have to find something because it's incredibly frustrating. And everything, like, there's not much out there. So, like I said to everybody in Discord, and I'll say it here, if you have any ideas, I do not get offended when someone comes up with a suggestion.
Yeah, please, man.
Please. Because this
Jesus.
invasive Argentine ant situation is something else. So my solution, getting onto why I was doing soil calculations, after this run, I'm going to dump them into a tote, right? I'm at least going to isolate them out, because so far the other Earthbox and the do it yourself Earthbox, I got to come up with a fucking name, because that's just lame to say every time. They aren't infected right now. Gotta stop saying infected either. That's not the right word. It's driving me crazy. Infested. They're not infested right now. Neither of them have any, not that I've seen. They might be, but not that I've seen yet. So it's not so much weighing on me. So I got to at least kind of hope. So I got to get more soil. And so I'm like, okay, well, I could get more build-a-soil, but I don't want to spend $200 on fucking soil and having it shipped out. That's crazy, especially because I have so much soil. I don't need more soil. I need less ants in that soil.
I gotta give it to the dude. He's got the worst business fucking practice ever. His idea is to like learn people, or to teach people how to fucking not have to buy his shit. It's like, great, man. I haven't bought from him in so fucking long.
No, I mean, his giving of knowledge is always, like, seriously a great
I feel
thing.
like I appreciate it because it's expensive. His shit works. He's fucking knowledgeable, but I haven't really, because I bought the 140-pound bag of fucking that's it,
blend,
man. Craft blend. And then like everything else I try to fucking find locally or get fucking make myself. It's
and here's the funny thing too, is I was
businessman.
He's the worst, coolest. What's funny is I was thinking about this, right? So I was looking for a compost source locally, and I was thinking about it. The last time I got compost locally was from the worm farm locally, that by me, that might be where these motherfucking ants came from. So if I source a shit ton of compost from this,
well, at least go and talk to the guy and see if he's having a fucking problem.
No.
Oh, you have?
I'm going. No, I haven't yet. I'm going to. I have a thought about it. I got to go talk to him about. I was going to talk to him about worm castings and the compost, but now I'll have to ask if he's having any issues with the ants too. But yeah, because that's the only outside source, was when I top dressed with that compost on accident, was from the worm farm, and that was the first outside thing that I had put in.
That seems like it was a while ago though, before you've had
last run. It was the last run.
Yeah, but you're just now seeing the ants.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's very
and
unlikely.
It was an older bag of compost too, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's very unlikely, but there's the possibility.
But I
with
am
going
wondering
to anyone
if
for
he's
compost.
seen them, if he's had a problem, because I was almost going to suggest, like, what if you fucking top dressed your bed with a big fucking mound, man? Like, go to fucking town.
Well,
Put a
so
big mound of fucking just worm castings, like 2 inches fucking
yeah,
thick.
they would go through it. I'm going to, but what was funny was part of the reason I noticed them more that pushed me to get nematodes the first time, other than just with the DE. Well, actually, it's when I found that the DE was in fact obviously ineffective. Was after I top dressed, they went fucking crazy. They loved it.
That's what, see, that was what I was thinking. Like, I was like,
They were
I
in
almost
heaven,
didn't want to mention it because I was like, dude, the ants probably fucking loved it. They ate
dude. It
that
was the greatest
fucking
thing.
seed meal in the fucking they were fucking loving it. They're like, shit, I'm taking this home to mama.
Yeah, and so so right now I've got to figure that out. So that's the update on the pest. The plants are growing great despite them, right? Other than the one earth box now that doesn't have um a plant in it, but that'll be rectified in a week or so. But
What if you
that's pretty
fucking
much everything.
threw a shit ton of cover crop
Well, okay, so here's my thought, right?
and then top dressed? Ooh, that might fucking like heat it up.
Yeah, I
That
mean
might be
that would
fucking.
start
Oh, but that's just
composting
gonna
it,
push them down. God damn
but
it, these
yeah, here's the
fuckers are
thing.
god fucking ants. I
They're
fucking hate
tiny.
you.
At their largest, they're an eighth of an inch, right? So they're very small. They feast on like mites and shit, apparently sugars and mites. And so my other question, my other not question, but my thought is, right, I can do borax in small amounts. It's beneficial, right? But
But
at what point does a small amount become an issue? Like if I'm treating, because if I'm treating a tote, let's say, right? Like if I pour it all into a tote and I push the tote out into the certain port in the garage and I treat it with the sugar and borax, how much borax is too much borax?
yeah, I know fucking
Because that's
that's
worries me about certain fucking, because I'd have to put it directly in the soil, right? And a
yeah.
little bit of borax is okay, and people add that to their soil. But the little bit is what scares me.
Dude, what kind of saponins were you using when you fucking applied those nematodes? Did
I
you
was
apply with the
using
saponins so like it would fucking
yes,
like
yes, yes.
slow? Okay, okay, good. All right, good.
Yeah, I'm using soap berries right now, soap nuts.
Ooh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Got them in my, because I have the 5 gallon buckets. Don't have a hose or anything, so I got to fill
Mhm.
it, and I have a canvas bag that sits in there, and it gets really fucking nice. However, you have to
Nice.
change them out fucking quickly. It can get gross too quickly. So
Right, right.
I might think of a different thing in the future, but it's working now. I mean, it's significantly cheaper than anything else.
Hell yeah.
But
Nice.
yeah, so that's my own little person. We've all got everything going on in life. You and I are busy. But so on top of everything, I've been fighting these ants. But I'm still, in spite of everything, I've still got some great plants, and it's going. It's going.
Yeah,
It's not
fuck
getting the
good.
full attention it really deserves, which is upsetting because I'm like trying to finish this mold package that I've been working on for like a month and a half. So I get home and I'm like, I need to address that.
Yeah.
Shit, like I still haven't put a cover on that thing that I made for the dog snacks. I need to put a mulch cover down with the trash bag, but I keep looking at it going, I'll deal with it in the morning. Shit, it
Fuck,
still isn't getting
man.
done in typical fucking Yag fashion, baby. But enough of my nonsense. I carried on for 22 minutes, which seems too long.
Bravo, sir.
Thank you. It's too long. Your indoor garden now. We've got a couple things to address. The first thing is you made a very shitty "Who's on first" joke because you
No, what's on
on
second?
Discord. I know what's on, but what's the "Who's on first"? Anyhow, please explain what is going on in your indoor garden and answer that question, please.
All right. So that was a picture of my left 4x4 tent, which was the tent that housed the Hella Jelly Mom and that apple dragon that
Okay,
survived. Uh
the great power
if I
outage.
was any sort of fucking person, I should have remembered to I'll go out in the lawn before I leave for work tomorrow and take 2 pictures of those 2 plants. I ripped them up by the fucking roots, man. I just
The
pulled them right
short
up.
hairs, huh?
Yeah.
Done or
So I'm done with the apple dragon.
okay.
I'll get to why, but I'm definitely done with the apple dragon. And then hella jelly. I have a successful plant of outdoors growing beautifully, and I have a small one in the prop tent that I got,
Oh,
and
hell yeah.
she's sitting in a 1 gallon pot in the what's that, the fucking aqua auto pots thing, the Trader Grow.
Trader Grow.
Yeah. So I've got my tangy selection, I do believe, and my hella jelly in 1 gallon pot sitting on that. They're looking good, except for they're starting. I think they might have spider mites too. So that was the
No.
reason those fucking hella jelly and apple dragon. I was gonna fucking turn the lights to 12-12. I cut that hella jelly all the way back to fucking barely anything fucking left, sprayed the shit out of everything, planted fucking cover crop. The apple dragon was looking fucking good. Everything was, she got stressed at one point, and that's when I remember I planted or fucking top dressed with that fucking micronized fucking Roots organic shit that I got. Dude, the fucking plants loved it. They fucking raged and grew and grew. And all's the only thing I have done, because there was so much fucking leaf material in there, has just looked at the moisture meter sensor, the EcoWet on my phone, and known when to fucking go in there and spray the hose to water. And I dimmed the lights and left the fans on, and then just looked every day at the fucking AC Infinity fucking reader to tell me what my temps and humidity are. And like, that's like a perfect fucking shit going on for these ladies in veg. And I'd open it up every once in a while, go, cool, looks fucking good, man. They're raging. Well, few days ago, 4 or 5 probably, I saw spider mites back. I was like, fuck, man. And these plants are fucking healthy and raging and beautiful, and I want to just flip it, but it's because I just haven't paid attention. And the reason the spider mites are back, after ripping these fucking plants out, like, all right, I'm done. I got fucking keepers. I haven't cleaned that fucking tent in Jesus Christ, I don't know how long.
That's not a good sign.
There was fucking spider mite fucking nests behind the fucking planter and shit, the garden bed. So out came the shop vac and everything else, and the Castiel soap and the fucking wipe down, and it's fucking clean now. I wiped the fucking humidifiers, the fans, and cleaned that fucking tent. I cut the fucking cover crop down. There was tomatoes growing behind the fucking hella jelly. I didn't even know got that goddamn big. So there's 2 tomato plants that had fucking flowers and everything growing on them. I fucking chopped those down. Those are top dressing now too. So I'm going to give that a good mustard seed fucking meal, because I see some fungus gnats all over everything. The humidifier, the fucking pan on the floor, the thing that comes in your fucking bottom of your tent, the plastic flap tray.
Yeah. The floor.
That's what my bed sits on. So, it was gross from the overwaterings and shit. And the fungus gnats died on the bottom there. Yeah, man, it was fucking time to clean that tent. So those
Sounds
plants,
like
I was never gonna win the fucking ever-ending battle of the fucking spider mites if I didn't clean this fucking tent. So
they had the perfect environment.
I'm gonna fucking use a fuck ton of mustard seed meal on this fucking top dressing, and I'm just gonna fucking kill this bitch. Kill that plant. And so bitch. in the meantime, I need to do some research. I need to find something else I want to grow, man. I don't want suggestions. I kind of just want to go into my own fucking space at some point and maybe go through my collection, or maybe find something new. But it's like, I kind of want to find something fucking new to
right on.
just spark the fucking re-interest. You know what I mean?
How fucking dare you assume that I would suggest anything to you?
No. I
You
just like this one. I love.
motherfucker.
I was like, no. You know what I need to do is like
Just
get
need to pick something
suggestions
that
on
you
what
want.
somebody else fucking
Nah.
what they think, and it's like, nah, man. I need to. This one needs to be me. Like,
Yeah, dude, you gotta
read
be
the
something. You gotta get excited
descriptions
about
and
it.
fuck exactly. Like, this one's for me. So I
How
chopped that
dare you
fucking
be
bed
so
down and
selfish about your own grow?
well, no, it's normally what I do is I get excited because somebody else got excited about it. So like fucking the only one was Tangy that really was our excitement. Um
Yeah.
and now that I've got a fucking mama her,
Yeah, dude. That's the
uh
good shit.
yeah. So anyways, speaking of the mama her, dude, I'm in trouble. I can't keep the humidity in that tent down because there is so much flower matter and they're getting
There's just
so
so much
dense
mass.
because they're
Yeah.
so fucking close to the light. They're just stacking on fucking weight. And they're, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks, maybe. I don't even fucking know at this point, but they're fucking, I had to go and fucking super crop them again. Fucking like
Is it the third
snapping
time?
the crispy. Yes, because
Yeah.
dude, I burned 3 or 4 buds
Because you're fucking so close. Yeah,
because they
dude.
just like, they fucking kept fucking pushing up into the fucking lights. And I'd
Mm-hmm.
go in and check, and it's like everything's good. And then the next thing I know, I've got brown fucking burnt fucking bud matter touching these lights. It's like, you fucking idiot, man. Chill. So, but I can't keep the humidity down. The only thing I can do is keep the airflow up, and the fans are just going nonstop in there. The 4x4 that's Phil and the 2x4, both of them the same thing. The 2x4 is a little bit better. It's not as thick. But that 4x4, man, that's a problem. Um, but I was talking to my old man who's an HVAC guy, and I was saying, dude, I can't keep the fucking humidity down. He's like, I was like, I think I'm gonna have to put a fucking dehumidifier in this fucking thing. And come to find out, I don't know if it's the new smart meters or I'm just consuming that much more electricity lately. My on average electricity bill is going to be almost $700 a month from this point on. So,
Holy shit.
um, yeah, that was I don't know if it was the electricity issues that I resolved and now I'm actually consuming. No, because I looked back at my past bills. It's insane. Whatever is happening, I don't know if the fucking cost of something went up, but yeah, I use a lot of electricity. So,
Yeah. Well, that
the
is fair though, because no, it's not fair to you. But for one bedroom apartment, I pay 400. You have
okay,
a
yeah.
house.
That's okay. So that's but yeah, that is true. Um
It is
why the
still
fuck
insane because how do I pay 400? Don't even get me started
No,
on
no,
how.
no. Not how. Jesus Christ. No. Why the fuck was I going on the electricity rant?
Oh, because dehumidifier, because you don't want to
Oh
add a
yes,
shit ton of
Jesus Christ!
fucking
I didn't
power
want to
draw.
add the fucking dehumidifier on top of the mini split growing in this fucking one
Oh,
car
dude,
garage.
yeah.
So my old man's like, "There's a dehumidifier." I was like, "Yeah, but then it gets too hot." I was like, "But isn't the air conditioning
It's supposed to be
dehumidifying?"
dehumidifying. Yeah.
And he goes, yes, but when the air conditioning thermostat is satisfied, it's no longer doing anything. It's not running anymore. It shuts off.
Yeah. So you're getting
Oh,
the
if you
spikes.
put it in the dehumidify mode, it will constantly run and pull moisture out of the fucking air. It was like, oh, well, then when my lights are on, it might get hot. So I'm thinking to myself, fuck, dude, I need to set this on dehu during the lights off and air conditioning during fucking lights on, right on the mini split. And it won't fucking spike my electricity bill and
Yeah.
it'll fucking
You won't.
get rid of the moisture that I'm most concerned about is at night. I just don't
Yeah.
want it to spike so fucking much because I think during the day it was like 65, 84 or some shit like that in the tents with lights on, but lights off, it's like 76, 77.
Yeah. It
Like
gets high
76
and
temp, 77 fucking humidity.
the swing's always the worst, but you're moving. You got to think you're moving a lot of air too. So when you're at 65, if you've got 3 fans and you're pulling,
How much
exhausting.
air? Well, that's what's nice is it
But
is a fucking narrow
yeah,
relief, so the fucking buds don't get that thick fucking uh um cola, that massive fucking cola with the
the one. Mhm.
heavy what are those? The sugar leaves that are fucking even making it even worse. They
Yeah, you
just don't
can't get
have
enough
that
of the one.
bud structure. There's less fucking sugar leaves like that, so it might be okay, but I'm hoping it is. It's gonna
I
be
was gonna say
fast.
I was gonna say during the day when when the lights on and you're that high, it's not ideal, but you can probably get away with it, especially considering the genetics. But at night, the swing always sucks. Like that's always
Yeah,
my
I
big
gotta
issue,
get rid of that.
especially where I
Yep.
grow. Yeah.
Yep.
So that sounds like a good fucking way to do it, dude.
So that's what I'm hoping to see good results based on that. And then the only other fucking plan I got left is my drowsy, man. And I wanted to touch on something you said with your seedling and having water in the bottom of your earth box. Because I've noticed something with this tent. Now, keep in mind, I do have high humidity in here and I've got high temps because I cranked up the fucking lights in that tent. So that tent, like right now, as I look at it, it's like 90, 70. And this
Damn.
auto flower might be like, when did I plant it? It might be 21 days or so by now. When was this drop?
No, I couldn't tell you.
I don't
I
fucking
was there,
remember
but I
either. It
don't
was a while
remember.
ago. Was it a 420? It was the 420 drop.
No.
Oh, I don't fucking remember. Whatever. Anyways,
No.
it's no, because it's only like 3 weeks old. So it couldn't be.
Yeah, what
It's
the fuck?
around 3 weeks. Okay. That was the point of that fucking rant or offshoot of whatever the Johnny's rambling about these days. Um, it's beautiful. It is showing zero signs of sex, which means it's also
It's not
showing
stunted.
zero signs of flower. It's not
Not
stunted yet.
stunted,
It
yeah.
is probably the first time I have had an auto flower this size and have it not showing signs other than hydro, like the cocoa and fucking
Mhm.
water
Yeah,
every
yeah, yeah,
day.
yeah.
Those seem to fucking just love life. Now, I've got great temps and humidity in that fucking tent. We just at first I had to run the humidifier to keep everything right, but what was it, 2 weeks ago? Fucking the Grateful was here. I was showing him the garden and I was watering my garden. We may have consumed some amount of cannabis where I had for a longer period of time than I would like to admit because it was maybe a 2 or 3 day old drowsy Lobaka at the time. Poured water a gallon or more down the tube from the garden hose before I realized, Jesus Christ, why am I fucking putting water down the fucking earth box on this baby fucking autoflower?
She loved it, huh?
Dude, I took the Eco Wit and I pulled it from the other earth box it was in and I put it in this earth box and it had started at a like 40% range in humidity and I watched it with the bottom water basically from the fucking get-go. I watched the fucking moisture level in that Eco Wit rise to 55, 56 and almost fucking remain there until yesterday when I went to fucking check. There was no water down the fucking tube and this plant is fucking raging.
Jesus.
The top has remained moist, the whole fucking top layer. I've been like kind of just misting anything I see ever dry up, but it really hasn't. It's been like 2 times in the past fucking almost 3 weeks now.
Well, I
So
mean,
I
I'll be
might be on to fucking starting with a good, not a good bottom watering, but a keeping enough in the bottom, man. Butt chugging. Like I'm
yeah, you just don't
fucking
want it to turn, right? Like that's the only
exactly. You
issue.
don't want it to rot. So if you
Yeah.
like, maybe if I had done, I would have felt better if I had to fucking sat there for a couple of seconds and gone, oh shit, that has sucked. I can watch this over the next fucking day or two.
Uh-huh.
No, it had been a couple of weeks, but she finally drank it. But I was like, I am definitely not putting any fucking more down there. I let it ran dry and see it dry. I was like, that's awesome. So I gave her, I didn't even do it full right now. I gave her like another gallon. I didn't wait for runoff. So I just
Right
put
on.
that one. It's just like, man, maybe I just suck at fucking watering this whole time. It's just been my
I
problem.
can promise you, we all suck at fucking watering.
Because they like it way more than I thought, but you just don't want it to get gross. And I think what happens with
Yeah.
overwatering is literally just a gross amount of water all the time.
Yeah, man. Nobody likes being wet all the time.
Yeah. So, but that's fucking, it's not even, man, it's Wednesday or Thursday. We need to hear from the Lord Frog.
Wednesday or Thursday. I
What day
love
is it?
I love that I
In
forget,
my,
dude.
almost in my neck of wood, it's almost Thursday.
But no, you know, you're right. That's fair. I got a pretty simple one. I think I should keep account of how many times I say that. But this one goes to all of our friends and anyone just in general who hears this. You are far too harsh on yourself. Don't be a dick. Mind your own business and go with Frog.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Peace.
See ya.